scored 40 out of 100 and also ranked 81 out of 180 countries in the 2017 Corruption Perception Index released by Transparency International. That's the lowest in Ghana's CPI score since 2012. Now, government, however, wants the previous John Mahama administration to be blamed for the mess. For you, who should be blamed for the situation?
When we talk about corruption in the country, for me, for instance, I don't think we can do away with it because I don't know the step they used to come out with those figures. But when you go to some of the offices, as I'm speaking now, it still exists. Yeah, because you go to office right now for you to do something, they will ask you for something. You see it. So corruption, they can't do away with it in this country. So let's wait for Mr. Mido and see what he's coming to do and see whether we can do away with it.
I think this current government is doing more to solve corruption, you know, even putting in Martin Amidu as a special prosecutor, you know, to also, you know, help in curbing corruption, you know. So I think he is doing his best to solve that corruption issue.
Within 2017, we are now categorized as the most corrupt country in Africa. And when you check way back from 2012 to 2016, those incidents that happened that we can assume from our own discretion as corruption were far, far ahead. I cannot just blatantly say that within just 1 year, from 2017 to 2018, we just entered, we could say or perceive that we have encountered some situations that we could categorize Ghana as most corrupt country just in this 1 year.
I could definitely say not much has been done, because looking at the trend at which things are going on the part of the government and certain things coming up. Example, for my part, talking about a website that has been developed and the price charged for a particular website, I think that alone is an indication that the government is not doing much about the corruption.
Those are some comments. A lot more of your comments are on Facebook. Let's check them out.
Right, so Jonathan Bruce says, I know that if the special prosecutor fails, Mahama would definitely be blamed for the appointment of Martin Amidu. And John Doe says, true, that is the more reason why they picked an NDC man. And Michael Akakpo says, this government is more than confused. Anytime you see a president laughing just because he's in the flags of house, everything basa. And Abdul Ganio has a reply to that. Okay. There's a gif. Okay. Amankwa Percy says, Mahama shattered the morale of his presidency by the following. And he lists them: Fort Saga, Sada, Jada, Bas Branding. It can never be restored. We live in a surreal world where the former president Mahama, has no meaning. His presence at Golden Jubilee brought no comfort but corruption. Seriously, he's an avatar of division, selfishness, and immorality, corruption, etc. He is a real reason for this abysmal performance. Cross says, the most stupid thing from this government since they came to power. Okay, let's just move on. Chris Fanil says, if a devil visits you, you blame JM, but if an angel visits you, you hail nada. You see? These are the reasons I hate NPP as a whole. When they were in opposition, they promised Ghanaians that it is only them that has the key to opening heavenly rains on the alien economy. Oh yes, 53.3 of short memory voters exercised their franchise. Okay, I think I'll end it here. It's a bit long.
And Timothy Hamza comes in to write, how can they solve doomsday in 2017 but can't take the blame for the lowest rate in 2017? Something good is MPP, bad is NDC. For me, I blame the media for what is happening in Ghana today. Stomach journalists made the tender of, oh, come on, that's a bit harsh. And Zaki Rashad says hypocrisy at its peak. When something good happens in this country, the government must be praised. But when something bad happens, the previous government must be blamed. Is this a witchcraft or deliberate attempt to paint the previous government black, even in opposition? Immoral Fusaini writes, to me, my own opinion, nobody should put the blame on the other. For me, I describe Ghana as pressure. And according to my definition with regards to pressure, pressure is now equal to problems over money. And he gives some mathematical P is equal to P stroke M. Okay, so there's a long one there. And those are some of your comments on Facebook. And also, the West African Examination Council is getting ready to adopt innovative technologies to curb examination malpractices. If you had the opportunity to advise WAEC, what innovative measures would you suggest it adopts?
Number one is honesty on the part of everybody. If everybody is honest, these things will not be occurring. Secondly, they should have cameras in the exam rooms so that people who bring in foreign materials could be detected. Thirdly is the invigilators. They must also be up and doing.
If we could find culprits, because definitely is a human being that sets the exam set by the computer to do the printing. So definitely there will be a time one may leak out the questions. So if we could have a way whereby question settings would be something refined and restricted to some category of people, I think that might help curb the examination malpractice.
This issue is right from the classroom, because I think if the measures of studies are being well managed, I don't think there should be anything of like students copying when writing exams. So I think our educational system is not need to be structured very well for the student to learn and then have the necessary materials in order for those malpractice to be kept in our schools.
Oh, some free consultancy for WAEC. Let's check out yours on Facebook.
More free consultancy. Nana Kwesi says, computer-based exam where questions are chosen for each candidate at random from a pool of questions of equal difficulty. The person next to you is answering different questions, so not realistic to seek help from them. You must answer the question on the screen or pass it before you can go to the next question, and you shouldn't go back to previous question, I suppose. This will discourage the student from waiting on someone for help. Isaac says, then the same people working there will also bring another innovative malpractice method to beat the preventive innovation. Abdul Basit says, they don't need any innovation. All they need is to hold responsible the head of the examination unit whenever the exams paper leaks. Most at times, the wrong people being arrested for taking advantage of the leakages, and the real mafias at the top are left off the hook.
And Timo Rain says, putting cameras in examination centers is good, but I think it would be another cost incurred on the government. So the best way is to send able and build soldiers to all centers and to be very strict on them. That will make them timid from all forms of examination malpractices. Jonathan says they should rather let each and every school set their own exams questions in order to minimize their corrupt attitude, because no matter what measures they put in place, APOG will still leak. Share, really? And Abdul Malik writes, please, let's note that it is not the cause of the candidate, but rather the officials at WAEC. So these measures must tackle WAEC as an institution. If not, this problem will still persist. And those are very interesting comments on Facebook. And finally, research has shown that women with big bums are healthier and smarter than average ladies. Like, seriously? Well, the research was conducted by scientists from the Oxford University on 16,000 women. The research explains women with big bums have lower cholesterol and metabolize sugar better, and are also less likely to experience heart problems and diabetes. Do you agree with this research?
I don't believe in that. because I don't have a heavy behind, but yet I'm smart and healthy. So I don't believe in it.
I don't think cholesterol is about weight and big bones. Everybody can be high cholesterol or something like that. So I don't think they are healthier and smarter than those with, sizable bones. So
I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true. I have seen very slim ladies that are very smart and have cholesterol. I don't know what category of people they use for their research, but I don't think it's very true. I can't really tell because women with big bones and then those without bones, I don't think. But I think those without big bones are more healthier because most of the time those having big bones have knee problems, mostly have knee problems, and getting to their older age, they find problems with their knee, which lead them to being crippled or being handicapped and stuff. So I think those with big bones are not healthy compared to those.
It might be true because I have big bones too, and I see myself to be like smart, like I'm smart, so I think what they are saying could be true.
And my own question to you, Israel, what do you think? Do you agree?
No, you don't ask me. I have to ask you. Is it true?
No, I'm asking you. Do you agree?
No, I don't have any way of knowing.
How?
Yeah, because I don't have a big bum. Do you agree?
Well, to some extent.
Okay. Yeah, on Facebook says, why wouldn't they be smart? In Ghana, women with big bums are smart. They use their goods to benefit themselves. They won't do assignment, projects, research. When they walk in front of the guys, that. The guys will do it sharp. Success says these universities and their findings. Women with big bums, aside the findings from the research, women with big bums should be every man's taste. And then Abdul Malik says, I think when some of these schools begin to get lower patronage, then they bring anything to the public in the name of research. This is a weird research.
All right.